In today's video, we're talking about the snapshot feature in Lightroom. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be a very quick and easy video. We're going to be talking about the snapshot tool inside of Lightroom. And it's going to be a quick video because there's not much to this tool. It's very easy to use, but I'm constantly surprised at how many people don't know that this tool actually exists. It's been in Lightroom ever since I can remember, and it's very, very useful. And if you're not using this, particularly for your long edits, then you're really missing out. So in a nutshell, what the snapshot tool does is it allows you to take backups or snapshots of certain points during your edit. That way, if you need to revert back, you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. You can go back to a particular point during that edit. Now, it's going to make a lot more sense if I show you how it works. So let's jump on the computer and you can follow along.
Okay, we're going to go pretty quickly here because there's not really that much to snapshots. What I will say is that it's going to be most useful when you're working on complicated images. Okay, so it's images that you're going to be spending a lot of time editing. That's where this is really going to come useful. Not so much on the quick edits. So I'm going to pretend that this photograph here is something that's going to take me a long time to edit. And so just keep that in mind when I show you how it works. So we're going to jump into the develop module. And when I click on the develop module, you'll see snapshots appear on the left-hand side in here. Now, there's nothing in there at the moment, but we'll get to that in a second. So one of the things that I like to do if I'm working on, like I said, a long and complicated image is start off with a base image. And by that, I mean, I just want to fix any highlight problems, any shadow problems, and I just want to start off with a really good base for me to work on. So in this image here, for example, I've got a bit of a contrast problem. The sky is a little bit too bright and the shadows are a bit too dark. So I'm going to fix that first, just simply, bringing down the highlights. Obviously I'm not doing this properly, but I'm just going to bring down the highlights and I'm going to boost the shadows a little bit. So now my histogram looks a little bit not as compressed. And so let's say that I worked on this and it taken me 20 minutes to get to this point. So I don't want to lose that. And this is where I create a snapshot. So all I do is I click on the little plus sign here on the left-hand side. And what I get is this little dialog box, which is asking me for a name. And you can put whatever you want in here. I normally just put in the word base. That's the first one that I use. So I'm just going to call that base. Okay. And let's say that I continue working on my image here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, cool down the image a bit, and then I'm going to add some contrast, and then I'm going to boost the blacks and so forth. And let's say that at this point, I'm not happy with what I've done. Well, I've got two options. I can Control Z or Command Z my way back to where I started, but that can be a little bit confusing. Or what I can do is I can click the reset button down here on the bottom. But that's just going to bring me, if I click on that, it just brings me back to the very, very beginning. Okay, so let's undo that for a second. Okay, so from here, really, I just want to go back to my base setting. So all I've got to do is pick the snapshot that I created earlier, which is the base. When I click on that, it just brings me back to that particular point in time. And this is the power really of snapshots, because it means that I don't have to go back all the way to the beginning. So if you can understand that, you can understand how powerful this feature is. So from here, let's go and maybe just create or lift the texture a little bit. So make that a lot of texture, a lot of clarity. Let's put the dehaze there in as well. That's looking quite horrible, but that's okay. Let's create another snapshot. So we're going to go in there and we're going to go, I'm going to call this base +1 or base 1. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to now warm up the image, and I'm going to bring the exposure down and bring the highlights up, and it's looking terrible, but I'm going to create another snapshot and I'm going to call that base 2. Okay. And you can see all of them starting to appear, all these snapshots that I've taken, they appear on the left-hand side here. You can create as many of these as you want. And the beauty of this is that you can go back to any one of those. And as you hover over the top of those snapshots, you can see the preview up at the top showing you what they look like. So in this case, it's looking horrible. So I'm going to go back to my normal base where I can then start again and maybe just do a bit of, let's do a bit of dehaze in there. And that's looking a little bit nicer. And then I'm going to warm it up a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm starting to like that. So then I'm going to go and create another one called base 3. Okay, and I think you get the picture here. Let's say that I go and then create, put a little, let's put a vignette over the top of it. And let's go there. And you go, okay, that's great. And you know what? I don't like that. So let's go back to base 3, which is going to just remove the vignette. So it only goes back to whatever the time of the snapshot. So if you can understand that, you can understand how powerful this feature is. So hopefully you can introduce this into your flow, into your workflow for some of those longer edits, so that you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. You can just go back in incremental steps or to a particular point in time.
Now, if you found this video useful, could I ask you for a favor and get you to click the like button on the video? It really makes a difference to me and to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I make videos like this every week to help you with your photography. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those, click the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any videos when I publish them. And if you have any questions, the comment section below is probably the best place to get in touch with me. Otherwise, you can reach out through any of the usual social media platforms. You're going to find all the links in the description. Again, please don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.